Because it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. Don't do that. That's when you feel like a big dope. Because they're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you reach out for the hot tag and you go ahead and make your own comeback. Why do you do that? That's when you should quit wrestling and you're better off rolling a thumbtacks. It's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you're distracting the referee and the babyface he has your wrestler pinned. Then you get bumped to the ring apron and you realize all the trouble you're in. Now it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da ba-da. Now double claps. Here we go, Bob Squad. It's the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Bada bada. Whoa! Yay! We are bushwhacking our way through another episode, you crazy cats. If you are a regular audio-only listener on Podomatic, I think there's like 8 of you, maybe. Where'd the rest of the theme song go? Well, it's on YouTube. I did a video version of a Hot Wheels Masters of the Universe land shark vehicle singing the beginning of the song, just for fun. Just because one member of the Bob Squad thought it would be fun, who's currently lifting weights right now. He's getting super jacked, ripped, chiseled, buff, and stacked all over the place. He's going to have traps so big you can catch wild bears in them, as opposed to domesticated bears, which would make no sense. What are we talking about today? I forgot already. We were talking about NXT. This is it. We've been waiting for it. NXT 2.0. 2.0, because they say it so many times. This is so WWE-ish. I knew once I first heard 2.0 at the beginning. They're going to keep saying it, aren't they? And it's kind of like a reboot of the show to remind you it's developmental and make it less important. What an odd reboot. But nevertheless, Vince McMahon's vision of young, large guys is has come to fruition. Goodbye NXT. Goodbye Kyle O'Reilly. Goodbye all those matches. What happened on NXT? So, we open the show. There's new hip-hop music that the kids are listening to. It's hip-hop. Like Run DMC, that's what the kids like, I think. They like, who do they like? They like Young MC. They like him with all the moves that he busts. What else do they like? The You Got What I Need guy. Biz Marquee, he's dead. Do they like Digital Underground with Humpty, aka Shock G? Didn't think I knew that, did you? He's dead too. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. One half of Run, or third. How many guys are in Run DMC? 2 or 3. One of them, the Reverend, he's dead. Everybody's dead. There's no point. MC Hammer, he's alive. He's doing great. Looks good. NXT 2.0, September 14th, 2021. There's color, there's in living color. There's Jim Carrey as a deranged firefighter, or fire marshal, rather. His name is Bill. J-Lo is a fly girl. There's living color everywhere. Damon Wayans is a mean clown. I think that's all of them, right? What else was there on a living color? Nothing really. I don't recall. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Jim Carrey played a masculine bodybuilder. I'm sure you couldn't do that today. Or a female bodybuilder. But the joke is she was, like, really a man and pretending not to be. Yeah, it would never work. Okay, can we move on from this fucking sketch show? No one knows what I'm talking about. Tommaso Ciampa is in a self-storage truck once again, cuts a great promo and kicks a chair. And then Pete Dunne is British, and Kyle O'Reilly is, I don't know what he's doing. He's talking like a really sweet, gentle guy who's about to break out an acoustic guitar at a party nobody asked for. I say that one already, I think I did. But he does. He always talks like that. He's that guy. I don't know why. And then we say 2.0 90 times. And Braun Breaker shows up. I guess he's the son of Rick Steiner of the Steiner brothers. And instead of and I think he was going to be Rex Steiner, or maybe he was somewhere else. Anyway, he's huge, and we've never seen him before. Get used to that in this show. And he has an argument with LA Knight, who was in the middle of actually cutting a good promo. And for no reason in particular, LA Knight, who they've made out to be a complete boob, decides, I will wrestle Braun Breaker right before a four-way match with three dangerous guys for the championship. Before the greatest opportunity of my career in life, I'm going to just wrestle this big kid and risk getting hurt. Why? And he does. And we have our first match in NXT 2.0. It is bright. The arena does look a little better with the lights on. Here's where they jump the shark. I can live with the stupid colors, but the banner, it's almost like a GIF, as the kids say. It's like an ever changing. The colors keep changing on the banners on each side, and it's really distracting. It's as distracting as on Raw when the camera changes every 0.8 seconds, or when they shake the camera during punches, which is so nauseating. Oh boy. Yeah, so that was really distracting. But it looked, if they just didn't have that, then I could live with the rest. But they did it because they could do it, and Jeff Goldblum would have told them not to do it just because they could do it. It's from a popular film, Three Men and a Baby. LA Knight loses to this new kid, and is a complete idiot. Great. So Rick Steiner's kid picked him up in a gorilla slam into a power slam thing, which I think Goldberg used to do, actually. I wonder how many people he almost killed with that. So Rick Steiner's son beats LA Knight. So LA Knight is going into this four-way a loser. Match gets 6,111 stars. Don't question the system. We have no time. We have no time. One of these days, though, we'll make time. Then Breaker is congratulated by people. And Gargano was there because the big wedding is today. Oh, the wedding. Happy day. Gargamel is there, and he shows up, and then Cameron Grimes and Odyssey Jones and Damian Priest shows up out of nowhere. He got nothing to do because Austin Theory returns and says, hey, the wedding needs a priest, so he found a guy with the name Priest because he's not smart. Do you notice a theme? They try to make everyone on this show a moron. Well, it continues. Oh, it gets worse. Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter change your names. They are in a tag match against Mandy Rose's goons. I'm not learning their names. They look like they're college girls in slutty Halloween costumes, and they make the same. They really do make faces like you see pro wrestling on a sitcom, like a Boy Meets World or whatever special episode, and they make those faces like that's what actors think pro wrestling always looks like, and I guess they're right now. At the moment, they are correct. Anyway, whatever. There's a tag match, and it gets changed into a 6-woman match because Mandy Rose has brown hair. It's a big deal. Everyone's freaking out. They're losing their minds. Mandy Rose has brown hair. It's like, you know, in a soap opera when an actor will have an evil twin, and it's just the same actor with a goatee, and that's what she looks like she did. They never explained to us why Mandy's mean or Mandy's bad now. Mandy never explained it to us. I don't remember. I mean, she really recently made Hulu, unless I'm missing that promo somewhere in the last month or so. But to my knowledge, she's never explained it. Instead, she turned her hair brown to show us visually she's evil, because Vince McMahon is senile. I don't think he was there, by the way. A lot of people said, oh, it's his. It doesn't mean he doesn't have his fingers in it. I don't think he was physically at the show. I've said that a lot. Who's in charge? Mandy. Oh, yeah, so Sarray shows up because those two girls who beat her up are not sorry they did so whatsoever. So now it's a 6-woman tag, and there's after the commercial break, and Mandy Rose pinned somebody. What are you gonna do? And her hair is brown. And Candice LeRae, whose hair is purple and belly is impregnated, she has a hat. Oh no, she yells at a girl because they have a bunch of jobber girls for the. Oh, geez, I'm saying girls now. Goddamn. They have a bunch. Well, they're in their 20s. Who gives a fuck anymore? I'm 41. Goddamn it! I got a hernia. I'm gonna call them girls. Candace yells at a girl for trying to wear a beanie, like a hat at a wedding. It says, take it off, you look like an idiot, which is good. Good for you, Candace. You were correct. And then a blonde lady says, William Regal, what are you doing? He goes, I'm British. And then he introduces Van Wagner to the thing. What happens here? Oh, yeah, so I guess Kyle O'Reilly was shown, during the six-woman brown hair Mandy tag, Kyle O'Reilly was shown in a picture-in-picture on the screen, and he got jumped by British guys. Ridge Holland hit him in the back with a club and went, I'm British. And then Kyle O'Reilly went down, and he goes, I'm not really Irish, but my name's Irish. That's close enough. And I'm from Buffalo or Canada. I forget where Kyle O'Reilly's from. They didn't have this conversation at all, but he got beat up. So apparently he's taken out of the match. So before this four-way, LA Knight got beat up in a match and lost. O'Reilly got jumped in the back. So it's almost like we're down to a two-way dance between Pete Dunne and Tommaso. I hope they call it a double threat match. They can't say Dan when 3 and 4-way dance was an ECW thing way back when. So sometimes us old timers slip and we still call it that. But yeah, I hope they now it's threats for fatal 4-way and triple threat. Yes. I hope they call it a double threat match someday. No DQ in a double threat match. Then we got a Chicago mob guy named Tony D'Angelo, who clearly has mob connections because he hints at it. He's new, so Breaker's new. I forgot to mention Van Wagner. Okay, so Van Wagner is this tall guy who sucks, and Regal says, "Hey, Van Wagner's tall and sucks and has never wrestled on TV, so he can have Kyle O'Reilly's spot in a championship match, even though he's never wrestled, as far as we're concerned." Because he saved Kyle O'Reilly from the beatdown, but he didn't really save him, because if he saved him, Kyle O'Reilly would be in a match. So he discovered a beaten Kyle O'Reilly, and he gets rewarded with a championship match. Who wrote this? You're stupid. You're a stupid person, and I don't like you. I don't respect you either. You should be headbutted in the nose. Who wrote this? God, that was garbage. Jesus. And then the mob thing is racist, by the way. I'm just saying, the Italian guy, so now we have a 4-way. Instead of the guy everyone likes to see wrestle, Van Wagner, who's tall and sucks, is going to be in there. And then we have some fucking tag match with 4 guys we don't know. 2 job guys and 2 guys called the Creed Brothers. And I think they're called the Creed Brothers because I did not want my eyes wide open to see this match. But no, they were tough and rugged like amateur wrestlers. So I guess they're part of the Diamond group with Roderick Strong and Malcolm Bivens. And Malcolm Bivens cuts a promo afterwards and says Roderick Strong can, or the Creed Brothers can beat any 2 guys with 2 legs or something. Which, okay, that doesn't make any sense. He said something about they weren't afraid of any man with 2 legs. So if you're a 3-legged or a 1-legged man, they're terrified. Especially, I do want to see him wrestle that 3-legged man. I don't want to see the 3-legged man in a double threat match against Roderick Strong. So these 2 Creed brothers who are really nasty beat up 2 idiots. So I've already lost track. This thing is just littered with big new idiots that we're gonna have to have shoved down our throats. And the 4-way is on, and it was good. It wasn't too long because we have a dumb phony wedding to do afterwards. Never mind the second to last match for the championship. Tommaso Ciampa wins. Yay, I'm afraid for him already. He beats LA Knight, so we could just piss all over LA Knight all day long. I really thought I was glad he won, and he's not going to have this for long. Don't even get it twisted. They made a point to mention he didn't lose it last time, so they're going to have. It looks like we'll get to towards at the end of the show. It looks like they're going to have Rick Steiner's kid just win it. Rick Steiner's kid is clearly the poster boy for this stupid 2.0 campaign bullshit. Because his tights look like the logo. He's like Mr. 2.0. Oh god, that's a terrible name. They'll use Braun Breaker. Good thing they fired Braun, because now Braun's here. Tommaso Ciampa is the new NXT champion. How about that? So Samoa Joe had to vacate it for injuries, apparently, allegedly. That smells fishy, no? Cut to I think they just didn't want an older face. He's got the gray in his beard, which is actually hilarious because Ciampa's got a way more gray in the beard. But they're going to find a way to piss on Ciampa and be as symbolic as they possibly can, because WWE and modern writers in what they call pro wrestling, just as they do in movies and TV, can't write stories. They can only write in symbolism because they're weak. Said what I said. We have a big fake wedding next. Yeah, I wasn't even mad. Honestly, I laughed a few times and just had to give in and go, all right, I'm not fighting this anymore. Uh, Nobody acts right at this wedding. Like, everyone is so, I can't say unprofessional, immature. Like, as if no one's acting like it's really a wedding. Like, they have, and everyone in a roster doesn't have a match, is all lined up. Io Shirai is there in a dress, and all the jobbers and everyone in that breakout tournament was there. Everyone with nothing to do. Cameron Grimes, of course, is there. Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell are getting married. The zombie referee shows up, and that was like the least strange thing of the whole deal. William Regal's there, which makes perfect sense. Do I recap this? What do I do with this segment here? How do I describe this? The bombacity of this wedding. So this doughy-eyed Australian girl is marrying a serial killer, right? And everybody knows it, but they're cool with it. So, first, Austin Theory can't find the rings, but he gave it to that annoying Japanese guy who wrestles in a sport coat, who slowly opened his sport coat where he kept the rings. It was stupid. And that's when I was annoyed, and then I lightened up. Instead of reciting vows, because he can't talk or he doesn't talk, he's never spoken out loud, Dexter Lumis gives a thumbs up, and the minister won't accept it. He's like, "You can't do that," and Lumis chokes out the minister, and everyone panics, and they look to William Regal like, "You can do this. You're probably an ordained minister. You're British," and he shakes his head. And Regal was wonderful here. He makes that ghastly face that he likes to make. Just the horror, the idea of him getting involved and shaking his head and swinging his face meat flying back and forth. It was just absolutely wonderful. And then the zombie referee is next to him, and people go from chanting for Regal to chanting for the zombie ref, so the zombie referee would wed them. And thankfully, and this was smart of Beth Phoenix, she cut off that quickly, because if it went on for a few more seconds, then everyone would be disappointed that the zombie ref does not do the ceremony. Beth quickly jumped up and said, "I anticipated something like this would happen. Last night I went online and became an ordained minister." And that's when I gave in. I go, "You win, segment. You have defeated me. I can't fight you anymore." I like Beth, and it was just so bombastic. So she says, "By the power invested in me and whatever ever online, something.com," which is just so funny. I let them have it. And then after Indy says "I do," Dexter Lumis just stands there because he doesn't talk, remember? And Beth says, "Well, I think that's good enough." And then Dexter puts his hand over the microphone, which he didn't need to do. She just should have waited. I think if I'm going to nitpick, because it matters, I think it would have been more anticipatory if she had just waited instead of saying, "Well, never mind." And everyone just kind of went, "What do we do?" Or even if she had said, "I know I'm new at this. I haven't done this before, but I think legally he has to say it." And then everyone waits. And then he does. He slowly says "I" and then "do." He can't even say them together. Uh, I thought that was kind of like it was. The pop could have been bigger if he just said "I do" instead of just too big. But who cares? This is not wrestling anymore. It's over. Wrestling's done. He says "I do." Everyone goes bananas, and they awkwardly kiss each other, and they are married. And it's the wrestling wedding that actually happens. There was a wacky moment where I think Beth or the minister, I forget, said the first minister, because she was one of the ministers. One of the two of them said, "Do you object to the blah 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 blah?" That part, and every hand went up. And I don't know what they were going to say, but every hand went up. And Dexter Lumis reveals he has an axe in his jacket, of his tuxedo, and everyone puts their hand back down, and then we just move forward. And then Tommaso Ciampa is in the back, watching a monitor, and again, if the monitor he's watching is set to the USA Network, why is he not watching himself watch the show? God, that kills me. And they've never done that. Okay. And then Braun Breaker approaches Tommaso Ciampa, and they shake hands, but it's too tight. And they go from smiling to staring at each other and grimacing, and I guess Braun Breaker gets a title shot now. He's going to because he won one match. Everyone gave up, and I'm glad. I'm glad the people in the wedding segment tried to have fun and go, well, it strikes me, I'm rambling off. I can't finish sentences lately. AJ Styles and The New Day have both done this on Raw for the last year, I think. They gave up. They're going to act as stupid and go with all the stupidity as much as possible because they just give us our paychecks. We're going to lose every battle. Why are we doing this? So they quit. And it looks like everyone in this segment quit, but they in a more positive, like, we will have all the fun we can have, and if you want us, if you're going to make us do a stupid wedding, we're going to do a stupid wedding. And it does hold the distinction of, hey, it didn't get broken up like every other wrestling wedding, which they bragged about on Twitter, the companies did, but really, watching back, they gave it away. I like to think if I was watching this live, I would have figured out the wedding will finish, it will take place, just because they kept making a point. Because Vince McMahon does not do subtlety. He doesn't know subtlety. He doesn't get subtlety. And after being in a live crowd in San Diego about a month ago, I go from being mad at that to kind of understanding it, because wrestling fans, especially WWE fans, are just so stupid. And AEW fans are also stupid. It's different types of stupid. There's a certain denial and pretentiousness that comes from being an AEW fan, but a certain borderline mental deficiency that comes from being a WWE fan, and I'm embarrassed for myself, quite frankly. But what was my original point? See, I'm not doing much better either, guys. Bob Squad, what happened? I don't like where I mean, this is not going to a good place. They had fun with all the stupidity they can have, but they're not going to have a big, giant, goofy wedding segment every week. What I'm predicting is, well, first of all, I'm going to make predictions instead of my opinion of I hated it, it sucks, or it was kind of good. One or two things looked nicer and brighter on TV, and everything else was hot garbage. The booking was atrocious. It's some of the least sensible NXT booking I've ever seen. It was not good, and I know that, especially in the last year or two, that the constant call-ups out of nowhere really screw them up. Like Keith Lee wins the title a year ago, and then like a month, then he has to lose to Cross a month later because Keith's getting called up. And then Keith gets called up, doesn't do anything, so it's forgettable. And then Cross gets called up while he's the champion, but then loses it shortly after he's been losing on. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that. Adam Cole almost goes to SmackDown. Doesn't. We know what happens there with AEW. Here's my predictions. I saw those Creed guys wrestle, and is it eyes wide open? It's arm. Oh shit! I'm an idiot. It's arms wide open. That's what it is. Okay. Well, MSK is going to have their arms wide open as they hand over those tag team belts in like a month. I saw those Creed guys wrestle, and I know what a hard on these Johnny Ace and Bruce Pritchard guys are going to have for these guys. Johnny Ace having a hard on behalf of Vince McMahon, and Bruce just wanted to make him happy, I guess. And quite frankly, I watched the Creed brothers, and I'd go, MSK just lost the tag belts right there. That's number one. Do not be surprised if Swerve Scott loses that North. Does he still have the North American thing or no? He beat Bronson, then became a good guy, and Bronson got fired. Yeah, I think they might even lose that title altogether, or the Kushida. He's wrestling Roderick Strong. One of those North American or that cruiserweight thing. One of those I think is just going to go. At least one of those is going to disappear. I never hear mention of Zoe Stark except for last week. I think the Zoe Stark is in trouble. I think Io Shirai is in trouble, quite frankly. She should go up. But yeah, to Raw, whatever, SmackDown, something. Just get new faces on there doing something new. Yeah, Io would be a good one. I didn't see Dakota at all. I wonder if we'll see Dakota soon, or who knows? Yeah, I would put Io on one show and Dakota on the other. Just come on now. But they'll take. I mean, Raquel's got all that size and that look. They'll snap it. That's my prediction. MSK is losing those belts first and foremost, and one of those two other male singles things, at least one of those is going to disappear. I want to make those predictions right now before the end of the year. Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa's reign is not going to be long. If they're not just going to shove it on that Braun Breaker guy and see what happens, because they clearly have a giant heart on for this guy. Again, he's dressed like the logo. It's like Jesus. How much more obvious can you be? And it's very transparent. It's a transparent program of this is our direction. They pissed all over LA Knight and they basically shut Kyle O'Reilly out in the same night. Bobby Fish has already been let go. I don't think things look good for Roderick Strong. I see Roderick. I see every one of that diamond thing disappearing except for those two big boys. That's what I see. They clearly have a different vision of NXT than Triple H did. Oh boy. Did the wrestling itself? I mean, obviously it's going to be simpler because you have all these green as grass guys. Oh shit, Van Wagner was greener than goose shit. God, he was terrible. He was terrible, but at least he was flabby. Nah, he looked like shit too. He was just tall, but he didn't have a good body on him. Generic tights that didn't quite. Very indie-rific. These tights barely fit me. I got the cheapest tights I can get tights. Um, he didn't do too bad. He was, it's a four-way, and he's got to keep up with these three guys and be in the right place. But I don't think he was anywhere near the finish. So I think they just kept him where they could keep him. It did what they can with him because he did have to break up a pin or two. So it's not. But they try to make him a babyface because everyone's gonna shit on him. If those fans are like fans and not staged fans or friends of family get in there and cheer boo fans, if those are people who just bought tickets, Van Wagner is not going to do well. But they'll find a way. They'll pipe some noise in. They'll tell us he's doing great because he's big. Oh, fuck Johnny Ace. All right, there was no reason for that. There was no reason for the end of that. But the wrestling itself wasn't bad, but it's going to be. You got a bunch of green guys now. Now you got this big green, like physically big green roster. And it's going to be hard. So there's nothing an LA Knight can do except bump around and make a guy like Braun Breaker look good or whatever. Okay, they wanted Braun Breaker to beat a name. He couldn't beat the Escobar guy. He couldn't beat. I guess that's really it, huh? Keep firing everybody. Stop doing that. Knock it off. Oh well. You're not going to see too many people taking crazy bumps on the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da.